Hello everyone, it's me again, Ishdeep. Today I'm a bit nervous because I'm going to share a part of myself with the world that I don't know how it will be taken, how I will feel afterwards, and how my energy will change after this, and if I'm going to get attacked again. So, sometimes the pain that you go through becomes very dear to your heart that you don't want to share it with the world, but I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks already, and now it came to a point that I've started to lose sleep over it because I'm thinking, oh, do I not trust the universe? Do I not trust God anymore? So it's a kind of like a free fall for me again. So the image that goes in my mind when I was thinking to shoot this video and share my story is, there is a mountain or a cliff, and then I'm there and I'm about to jump on that cliff, and then there is a hand that says universe on it. I don't know if you've ever seen that photo anywhere on the Instagram, basically. So yeah, so I don't know how you're going to perceive me after this, but let me share. So this is the story where I would say I have witnessed the presence of God, I would say, because if I'm alive without any harm to my either my self-esteem or my body or my soul, I think the credit goes to the Almighty. So it's the story of last year when it all started happening. I think March or April last year, when I suddenly found myself in a situation where a 7-year-old, almost 7-year-old conversation, and the person actually reappeared. And so it was showing in my you may know people on the Snapchat, and I was like, well, it's a kind of weird because how come this man started appearing again? So because I got curious and I wanted to know who is this person behind this Instagram, not the Instagram, the Snapchat, because he's a kind of well-known, famous, got like lots of fan pages, fans, and blah blah blah. And then I was like, is it him? Because his Snapchat is different than what I'm seeing, but how come it's showing in my you may know people? Anyway, so I talked to that person. It was not him, but the conversation I had, it the way I speak about the things, and because I know I have a different POV and way and style of saying things. So all that started reflecting on one of that actual man's fan page. It was like 100K fan page on Instagram. And the same sentences that I spoke over the call, it was in like one or two of the stories, the statuses on the Instagram. And then I was like, oh, that's weird actually, because how come the way I am thinking and saying things, this man is thinking the same way, or this fan page, because I didn't know actually who is handling this even fan page, but anyways, I came to know that, okay, so whatever I have spoke about, the conversation I had with this man who is using the same username as his, actually the conversation has gone through. So I didn't know, was it a circle or a friend group or the fan group, whatever. So anyways, the point is that I felt like the conversation actually made its way to that actual person, the story I'm going to share you about. So, and then suddenly on my ID, I started actually having like tons and tons of requests on the Snapchat, which is very unusual for me. And some of the IDs were like newly made, like just made just to talk to me. That's how it was looking like. And then some of the IDs were like actual real people. So I went ahead to find out like who is this person, kind of like a stalker, and how come he know about my Snapchat? Because nobody knows, and I also don't use that often. So spoke to few to find out who this person is. They kind of speaking in the same way. I mean, chatting in the same way. And then I used to like have a chat, quick chat, like who are you? Where are you from? And how come you know about my Instagram ID, about my Snapchat ID, and what do you want from me? And then I used to block them afterwards. But then it started happening very often, and I felt like I'm being stalked. And I remember there was a person, which is again a very newly built ID, and then he was saying things like, "We should meet, and I like you, and then let's maybe plan a date or something." And then I was like, "Okay, but I don't know you enough to come with you on any kind of private or public date." And then it was like, "Yeah, but you need to trust me and you need to give me at least a chance." And I was like, "I'm giving you a chance by talking to you, by responding to your messages." And I felt like this person was the same person I'm speaking about. And then he was like, "Okay, what we'll do is when we meet, we will have 4 to 5 hours of date because you're not willing to come to my place, or because you're in a different city than I was. So what I'll do, I'll come over to your place. You send me your address or something." And I was like, "No, no, that's not going to happen." Okay, it's like, "Okay, we will meet we'll have a long date of 4 or 5 hours, and then you have to say yes afterwards because I want to marry you." And I was like, "Let's not do that because that's not how things work." Even though I can kind of sense who you are, but I still, because I'm a woman and I'm allowed to have my own doubts because of my security or personal reasons. So I'm not going to speak to you because actually I don't know you, and this level of obsession you are showing just in the first talk, it doesn't seem like a very healthy conversation. And I also shared that maybe we are from the same culture, we both speak Punjabi, and then, but still, I can feel that there is a cultural difference between us, and at least I need to know people to marry someone or just even to think about marriage. But he didn't took it really nicely. And from there onwards, the situation actually started getting worse. So got rejected, took it on the ego, but then a part of his ego, maybe, I don't know, he wanted to prove himself that, okay, she's playing hard to get, maybe towards me. He was thinking that I'm playing hard to get, but I'm being just honest. And then the whole process of like getting stalked again. Now the magnitude, the level of the number of requests I was receiving, it was just increasing. And so I started speaking, like chatting to different, I spoke to like 2 or 3 or maybe more than that Snapchat IDs. And then I was responding to them to find out what location they are based at. Because if I'm replying to somebody at 3 a.m., the response will come at 3 a.m. If I'm replying to someone at, for example, 4 p.m. or 10 o'clock in the morning, the response will still come. And then I started feeling, okay, it doesn't seem like there is only one person who's trying to speak to me, just because it's either this person doesn't even sleep, level of obsession, again, that was scary, or there are more than one, more than 3 people, actually. And what started happening, that because I stopped responding to these fake Snapchat IDs, so there were few real IDs on the Snapchat as well. Again, I spoke to them. The conversation started feeling like, okay, I know this person. This person knows something about me already before even speaking to me. So, for example, if I spoke to somebody and said, okay, I'm going to have lunch. Okay, what are you going to have lunch for? Maybe I said something, and the second person, and then I've blocked him because I'm like, okay, hey, we don't know. It's going to go anywhere. I have to block you. And the second person from the real ID will again say, oh, you like this thing? And then I was like, damn, it's how come this group know about me, about the things I like and I don't like. And then it's basically started feeling like the whole group. And I came to know afterwards it's like 4 or 5 people. My assumption is there's 5 people, group of 5. So, and I was like, oh, actually, I am getting stalked and targeted by a group of 5 people. And how come they know about me? Because of the same person who felt rejected. And now, because he understood that I'm not going to either meet him or talk to him. So now his whole group, I don't know, friends, maybe, should be friends, started reaching out to me. And because of the rejection, now he started saying things which are like very disrespectful. So he's got this whole fan pages where he will post very bad things about me, but without mentioning my name. And I know it's about me because of the interactions we had. So it started getting like personal attacks and very disrespectful behaviors, saying things like I'm women of bad character and blah blah. And then it started affecting me. And so one of his friends, I spoke to him and I said, see, listen, the way this man is behaving, this level of obsession, and the way now he's um, just pouring out his anger towards me on various platforms, it actually started affecting me emotionally. And then this person actually, his friend, uh, well, seemed like a nice guy. So I was like, he needs to be stopped. I mean, this is not how things work. And I understand that he's feeling rejected, but he needs to stop doing all this nonsense because there are like, I don't know how many men trying to find my location and trying to pose themselves as like they like me, just to do what with me. And so he was like, okay, it's said in a way, like an encrypted way, like do not trust them because everything is connected. Basically, every person is connected to one another. So because I said how this person is behaving with me, so now because again he's getting exposed in front of his buddies, from disrespect he went a level ahead and started giving like death threats as well, saying if I can listen to you silently, I can also kill you silently. That's how he spoke. And I'm here wondering, like, what's even my fault? How can you feel so entitled over somebody that this the way you're behaving, like, do do I not have a free will? Do I not have my personal choice as a woman? And yeah, so I started actually behaving very differently in front of my uh, basically everyone, and I was feeling very depressed, attacked, stalked, and I started feeling like very alert whenever I'm going to work or coming out of work. I'm like very alert, looking at my surrounding, looking at person. If a person stares more than 2 to 3 minutes, and I would wonder if he knows me already, because this the level of illusion. I I just felt trapped. This level of illusion that was created around me. So because it started affecting me. So again, I spoke to somebody again, new ID, and it was already 5 months down the line, and this person is and the whole group is still not stopping, because I'm a human. I can only take what I can take, and I have my limit. And I'm feeling alone here. That nobody in my friend group is, they are not understanding what I'm going through. They're thinking maybe you're just getting paranoid. This is not normal. What are you saying? So I was just getting shut down for not even sharing what I'm going through. But then it started affecting my mental health as well. So again, I spoke to somebody to again on the Snapchat. I knew it was him or one of person in his friend group, but seemed like it was him again. So I spoke to him and I said, listen, whatever you're doing now it started affecting me emotionally and mentally. You need to stop doing this because what you want. And then this person went ahead saying, because you're not trying to understand me, I'm coming from a place of goodwill and I like you, I want to make things work. And then because I was feeling very low already and my brain was not working and the things were happening around me, and how come like every person, and how come uh, they know about me, and how I'm going to get out of this trap. So I was like, okay, maybe there is only one way forward, is to actually have a conversation with him. And then I shared my WhatsApp. I was like, okay, now at least I will know that it is you and not other people. And you think that all the bad things you're saying, it's just I'm getting paranoid by you saying you have like, you have been very respectful towards me, but this is not how I perceived you. So just to ease my things out, I took major wrong step. And now all of these stalkers, now they have my WhatsApp. And now I'm having WhatsApp messages from unknown numbers, blank calls. And when I will answer, because I can recognize this person's voice, so it was not him. And I was like, damn it. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I could have done to make things worse. That what I've done. So it was already like 5 or 6 months where I am into this trap even more. Again, my parents notice that there are like changes in my behavior and maybe I'm getting depressed or something. And I started feeling like I need a break from this because I don't know what I have done in my life that now this whole group is treating me like a doll of some sort, that they just wanted to be with me just to be on their beds. And I was like, is this the life of a woman? And after living a life with very disciplined way, and I haven't done purposefully anything wrong in my life, and I've got my own very strong moral compass, how I want to lead the world, how I want to lead my life. And I'm here wondering, what is even my fault to 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 have this level of disrespect towards me, saying things like I work as a prostitute. These were the attacks that they were being made. And I know this whole group is attacking me with all sort of nonsense that they couldn't imagine. So at this point I'm feeling like maybe my life is done and there is no way out of this. My subconscious mind also started getting affected. I'm having all sort of this dreams that there's a young girl, little girl trying to run and there is a group of men behind her, because I got scared for my life, or I don't want to get raped by anybody basically. And that's how things actually that's how I was feeling. And what happened afterwards was I started, obviously, I used to pray. I started pray in between when this whole conversation was going on, like, you need to show me a way, God. And I'm not able to deal with this level of trap that is built around me, this level of illusion. I would call it chakravirti. I don't know how to come out of it. I don't have any support system, and this person, this man, has got his friends by his side. He's got huge fan pages. He's got huge fan base. 100, I don't know, million, 1.3 million when he was talking to me. That was his Instagram. It could have increased as well. He's got money. He is in power. Every possible advantage of the world that he could have, he has it. And I am here alone, not even, I couldn't ever share what I'm going through because people are looking at me, my own people are looking at me like, you sure you're not getting paranoid about this stuff? So, so that's the day when I prayed, like, please show me a way. And then next day when I woke up, I realized 6 months down the line, this person has tried all sort of things. Sham Dam Dandabhed, which is he used his manipulative tactics, is how much he's in love with me, how much he care about me, or to scare me, to give me death threats. He has done all sort of things, and still this person and the whole group is not still not able to touch even a single strand of my hair. Forget about seeing me in person or doing any harm to my body or my soul. I was like, this is what divine protection is actually. What I'm even afraid of now. 6 months down the line, and I haven't been touched. A single strand of my hair is not even being touched. And I was like, so this level of confidence when I felt from coming from obviously divine. And I was like, okay, so I need to stop playing victim here and show them what I'm made of. So I obviously put like a list of like it was stories, like a kind of encrypted, because my Instagram is public, so they know that I'm saying reality about them. And also I'm being disrespectful as well on Instagram stories, just to show that I don't want to take your shit anymore. It's enough is enough. I don't know how you're going to stop, but you need to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to tell the world what you're doing to me. And then whole of this process of getting stalking me on the Snapchat, it all suddenly stopped. And I also actually before that, I also then ultimately closed my Snapchat afterwards. And then it was already like 6 months that everything was happening around me. And then so I thought maybe now the life will be normal, because this person, now I know his weakness as well. His weakness is getting exposed. That is because his whole career is built on it. If I say something about how he is behaving with whole of his group with me, then whole of his career will be destroyed. And then he was already going through this attacks from his anti-party, who was saying all the bad songs about him. You might guess who this person is. And but whatever I have gone through, I felt like a near death experience, because I started thinking like, what's the point of living this life if after living such a disciplined life, if this is the level of disrespect I'm going to get, I don't want to live anymore. And so after I put like a list of stories on him, everything kind of seemed like it stopped. And I was like, okay, maybe now I can live life on a normal tone. By this point, I was like, I'm on anxiety pills already, because now whatever I have faced, the evil side of human being that I never imagined I would have to go through and face such a evil side of any human being, especially considering the woman I am. And I have lived my life being very alert, being very protective of myself, and being very aware of my surrounding. If they managed to build a trap around me, I started feeling like I am either the most dumbest person on earth to get in this trap. Anyways, it's affected my sleep, my life, my work. My heart rate resting heart rate used to go like 120, 130, and then I got diagnosed with anxiety disorder because of the things I've gone through. And that I took like treatment for like 3 months, and then I was okay afterwards. But it was like all sort of things like anxiety, sleeping to help with me to calm down, even during I am working, not just like during the sleep. So at first, it felt like it's all calmed down, and I am out of that storm. And but it didn't stop there. Now it started on the Instagram, and I am seeing this person behaving differently. Basically, I was checking his various fan pages because I'm that point. I'm like very raised. Like, dare you say one more thing, and I'll tell you. So he's behaving differently in front of me, but on my back, where I don't know what he's posting, he's saying even more worse things. And basically, I became a group joke, internal joke to them. That's what I felt. And I wasn't in this energy like very thankful towards God, like, oh my God, you saved me, and anything could have happened, but you didn't let it happen. So I am okay with that. At least you saved my life. I'm in that sort of energy. So what happened? I am now not responding, not taking anything, any disrespect. I was like, you can say whatever you want to say. It doesn't affect me. I'm happy that God saved me from a people like you. And but obviously it was affecting me. Everything was affecting me. And I got so humbled that I don't want to even step up to even say, oh, you're doing this wrong. Stop doing that. Because I'm in this energy of like, okay, if God saved me, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what I have done in past life to experience this, what I'm experiencing now. So even if God saved me, this is like, I couldn't be more thankful than this. So, and then one day I was working. One of my patients, he was on this, we call it a balloon pump machine, where this person's heart was not working. And then we insert like a tube kind of thing through the groin vessel, and that sits around the heart. So it basically helps the heart until a person is waiting for the surgery. So this person's heart was basically struggling. And then he was my patient. But you can speak and you can eat, you can do all sort of things, but you're not able to sit up basically whenever you are on this machine. So this was my patient. And then I arrived on my work, and then this person started saying things like, so there was like a curtain in between two patients. And then this patient is saying to me, you see, this lady is being very disrespectful. This patient is being very disrespectful. That was a patient he was referring to. And you should not let anybody to disrespect you in that way. And I thought, because in medical field, that's what we are taught, that some people, they get side effects of different kind of drugs, and especially on being on the machine for not being able to sleep well. Some people have this delusional kind of thought process, and they perceive things differently, and they speak differently as well. And then I was trying to handle it in a way that this person is having some sort of delusional thoughts, because the next door, nothing bad was happening basically. And then I spoke to the nurse who was looking at the next door patient, and I was like, everything is fine with you? This my patient is saying that he's hearing somebody's being disrespectful, and he's warning me that I will not allow that level of disrespect towards me. So either I'm not understanding him, or I don't know what's going on in here. And they were like, no, everything is fine here. It's nothing is going on. So I I went to him again. I was like, see, I understand your concern, and I'm very thankful that you're saying these things about me, that I shouldn't take any disrespect. And so this person reacted very badly, and he's getting all angry. His blood pressure, because he was connected to all sort of monitoring, so his blood pressure went 180, 190, and he's on this machine, and his heart is struggling. He's angry because I didn't took his whatever he's saying to me seriously. He went ahead and he said, listen, I know I'm speaking to a wall. I am a wall, and nothing affects me, not even a disrespect. So this person is getting very, very raged at me. And I was like, because because whatever I was going through, it was very personal. It felt like a personal attack. So I spoke to one of my senior nurses, like, see, so yeah, I have to step aside. And basically, it's I don't know if you have seen the movie where it's a story of Prahlad and Harnakush, and how the Narsim avatar of Lord Vishnu, the story of them. So it's so they because this person was behaving very aggressively, and he's getting all emotional. The 6 feet, 2 or 3 inches man, crying out of anger, his blood pressure reaching touching 200. He's on this machine. He couldn't even stand up. I'm fearing for his life, and he's worried about me. And he's keep on saying, you will not let anybody to disrespect you in that way. And the story that was playing in my head at that time, when Lord, so yeah, the story that was playing, not the story, but the visuals that was playing in my head was when nursing avatar of Lord Vishnu, it appeared when Bhagat Prahlad was getting tortured by his father, because he believed in God. And when they appeared, the nursing avatar appeared, he kills Harnakush, and also because he's very fierce form, so he started destroying everything as well. And there is a talk on the heaven where all other different deities, they are talking to each other and saying, we need to calm him down, because he's very angry. If he continue this way, he's going to destroy the world. And when Prahlad, he sits in his lap and say, please calm down, and then only then he calms down. And everybody knew that only Prahlad is able to calm him down. So that story was playing in my head, because obviously I had no previous interaction with this man. 5 minutes, me and him interacting, and he started giving all this yarn to me and without knowing what's going in my life. So that was very, very strange for me. But I took it as universe speaking through human beings to me, and I felt like if this is true, what I'm witnessing at the moment, that means if God exists, he will be very angry at me because he's shown me time again and again. And this whole post period of 6 months, very evidently he's shown that how divinely protected I am, how forget about harming me. They're not even to touch a single strand of my hair. And if I'm still not trusting him and taking action, then this is the level of anger he's going to have, not towards me, but towards the culprits, towards the world. So it took me when I went home, and then it took me good 2 to 3 days for this experience to just like it needs to absorb. And I was like, okay, so yes, I have seen the divine other divine experiences through the dream state and some signs and divine protection now. And now divine is speaking through human beings. So this when this happened, you know that I felt, I still feel I'm a very special human being. So I don't know what other people have felt in their life, but because I'm not some sadhu sant, but I'm living my life. I'm not praying that even that, there are some people who wakes up like 4:30 in the morning and to pray. They are in their constant sadhana. I I don't do any of that, and still I'm able to experience the things I have experienced. I feel I'm very blessed. So after all that happened, I went ahead and then I was like, okay, I'm not going to take that disrespect no more. And because by the time this person know that if I get angry, that's how I'm going to react. So he actually blocked me from his actual account as well. So maybe because of the way they were talking to each other about me, obviously this man being the man, he didn't convey the message that I'm not going to take any disrespect, that he had seen the rage in my eyes now. One of his friend ahead and posted something again. That again, based on a real story, he posted. Based on a real story, this woman, she has two boyfriends and this and that. Unknown, I don't know, characterless, and then don't know what job she does. You know, very personal attack on the character again. And then I was like, okay, enough is enough. I reacted obviously very badly on the Instagram. I put like lots of stories saying if you are doing this to me, I can only imagine what you're doing to the other women and what your whole group is about, and how you target women and you want to use them either emotionally or physically, and clearly doesn't feel like you believe in God, because the way you are dealing with the people in the life, especially the way you dealt with me, you just think that, oh, you are the God and only your will is the one which everyone accepts, especially me, that humans or women should not have their own desires or their own wishes or even boundaries. So, yeah, so I have to expose him, kind of. He never took my name, so I never took his name, but most of my friends, because I used his surname, and when I was referring to him, like, see, Mr. This, you're doing this. And he kind of took I showed him a trailer that if you don't stop, 8 months down the line, if you don't stop, next action I'm going to take, I'm going to lodge like a police complaint or something, because this enough is enough. You went on giving me death threats, you stalked me, you given my ID to I don't know how many number of boys that they are trying to chase me as well. Every one of you just want one thing, is to get me in the bed somehow, and I think I have been divinely protected for that, but I don't know how other women have been. So, anyways, this was the story. I don't know how it's going to be perceived by the world, but I hope. Is it still working? I hope that I'm ready to be a divine testimony, just testimony. And I pray to the divine that I don't know how many number of people it's going to reach. If it's going to reach only 10 or 500 or just even one. The world is not in a place where I can afford that even a single person loses trust in God. And I want to work here for the divine, not for any particular religion, but for the divine. And I'm happy to be a testimony. And show mercy once again on me and on everyone. Please show the world that you exist. Please show human beings that you exist. Not because what I was going to say. Not because you protect people, but also that they can access that level of divine knowledge, divine guidance, divine, obviously, protection, but that courage, that power which is needed at this time to deal with the darkness. So, yeah, this is my prayer to the divine, and I want to say to the world that this was my very, very honest story. I have felt the presence of Lord, presence of divine, presence of, we call it, universe. It's behaving in a way to show that it's present. There is something beyond you which is trying to connect to you when only when you're trying to connect to them. So I don't know what else to say. I am very blessed, and I want everyone to be this blessed and to be this protected. And yes, I want to close it here. That's it. Bye bye.